We will now look at a standard weigh and dispense scenario in SiMPL. Going into transaction CO60, we'll select our process order and PI sheet. As we look at this PI sheet, we can see a standard weigh and dispense configuration in which we see a minimum and maximum range for all the materials to be weighed. If I click on the refresh button, any materials which are necessary to be weighed will pop into this table. Specifically, the batches of those materials which have been pre-assigned will also appear. This can also default upon opening the PI sheet, as was the case in this scenario. We can also see at the bottom of the screen our weigh bar, which includes our tolerances which are reflected in the table. In this case, 10% in either direction. This bar is connected to an actual scale via the plant connector or SAP OPC connection. In the weighing table below, in this scenario, the material is storage unit managed. This could definitely vary depending on the configuration in SAP. If storage units are not used, for instance, material batch can be entered specifically, or if warehouse management was not used, this would be storage location instead of storage type in bin. But in this scenario, with a warehouse management design using storage unit management, the operator is instructed to enter a storage unit or possibly scan that storage unit to be weighed. Upon entry of that storage unit, the specifics are put into this table, including the storage type, bin, and quantity. In addition, the operator is prompted for which scale should be used, as this will tie specifically to the bar at the bottom and the OPC connection. The first step in this process is to tare the scale. In this case, when I click on tare, I can see that the amount, based on the amount on the scale below, 1 gram, has been updated in the tare amount for the unit of measure given for scale number 1. Now I will actually weigh the material, in which as I put material on the scale, you'll see the scale amount increase in real time at the bottom. In this case, the total amount is 198. In certain scenarios, adjustments can be made as the system says 200 grams, but physically it's been determined that I have 198. This is, however, within my tolerance based on this material, so I will now click on the weigh button, in which it enters 198 minus the tare amount is a total weight of 197. Again, this is still green because it's within my tolerance. Obviously the tolerance can vary, as this is a fairly wide tolerance in this scenario. The weighing process is not completed until I actually sign the line item associated with that weighing and enter my password with a CFR Part 11 compliant signature. Once I execute this signature, I can see that my master table above does now indicate the total amount weighed, which could be for one or more line items below. SiMPL can be configured to execute a goods issue based on either this line item, or when I sign at the bottom, which is basically closing out this section of the PI sheet, it can actually execute all of the goods issues based on each of the line items I have here. In addition, as a configurable option, a WIP material can be created based on the weighed material if I'm, for instance, doing campaign weighing, which allows me to track this intermediate WIP material in subsequent steps in my PI sheet. The adjustment, the WIP, and the way we do goods issue are all configurable within the SiMPL design. In addition, other features and fields can be added to this base scenario as necessary, as the key points associated with this are A, that we can actually connect to shop floor equipment, in this case a scale, and read from that equipment directly into our PI sheet. B, we can define material-specific ranges and tolerances that we can then summarize and associate with goods issues to the process order. C, whether or not we use warehouse management, storage unit management, handling unit management, or just simple IM. All of these scenarios would apply for a weigh scenario, with the only key difference being the level at which we're doing our weighing. In general, the weigh and dispense library element can be mixed with other library elements and added to several sections of PI sheets within a process order. Thank you for watching the simple weigh and dispense demo. For other demos, please reference the website.